Managing people at work can be tough. Did you know that 82% of employees would consider quitting because of poor management? Even more surprising, Gallup found that managers account for 70% of the variation in team engagement. These numbers don't lie. How you manage your team can determine whether they thrive or crumble under pressure. And here's the truth: managing isn't just about assigning tasks or meeting deadlines. It's about building trust, inspiring growth, and creating a space where people want to give their best. If you've struggled with micromanaging, giving effective feedback, or handling conflicts, you're not alone. That's why I've created this guide. These 6 strategies are designed to help you lead with confidence and drive real results. By the end, you'll have actionable tools to elevate your leadership game. Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Art of Empowering, Not Micromanaging. Micromanaging might seem like the safest way to stay in control, but it usually backfires. Studies show that 69% of employees consider micromanagement a significant frustration at work. Empowering your team, on the other hand, unlocks creativity and builds trust. Start by delegating tasks with clear goals. Instead of saying, "Send this report by 3 p.m., try, "This report helps us present critical data to the client. Let's aim to have it ready by 3 p.m. By explaining the why, you give people ownership of their work. Autonomy is a game changer. As Daniel Pink highlights in Drive, autonomy is one of the biggest motivators for employees. People thrive when they feel trusted. To avoid overchecking, use supportive check-ins. Trust your team to deliver, and be there to guide, not control. A Gallup survey found that employees who feel trusted are 23% more likely to perform better. Empowerment doesn't happen overnight. Start small, like letting a team member lead a low-stakes project, and celebrate their success. Over time, you'll see confidence and creativity soar. Chapter 2: Building a Culture of Psychological Safety. What if your team felt safe to share bold ideas, take risks, and admit mistakes? That's psychological safety, and it's a game changer for high-performing teams. Google's Project Aristotle revealed that teams with psychological safety outperform others by a significant margin. But what does it look like in practice? It starts with you. Acknowledge your own mistakes. For example, say, "I missed the mark on this project. Here's what I learned, and here's how we can improve." By being open, you encourage your team to do the same. Create space for feedback. Ask, "Does anyone have a different perspective?" This not only welcomes input but also builds trust. Remember, 20% of companies that embrace psychological safety report higher innovation rates. Finally, frame failure as a learning opportunity. Instead of pointing fingers, ask, "What can we learn from this?" A culture of psychological safety fosters collaboration, creativity, and growth. Chapter 3: The Power of Strategic Listening. Listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about understanding emotions, motivations, and concerns. And yet, it's a skill many leaders overlook. McKinsey found that effective communication, including active listening, can boost productivity by up to 25%. Strategic listening means being fully present, no phones, no distractions. When someone shares a concern, repeat it back in your own words. For example, "So, you're feeling overwhelmed with deadlines and need help prioritizing. Did I get that right?" This shows empathy and builds trust. It's also about noticing the unsaid. If someone's unusually quiet, check in. A simple, "Is everything okay?" can uncover hidden issues before they escalate. Listening doesn't just solve problems, it also boosts morale. Recognize efforts by saying, "I noticed how you handled that client issue. Great job." This kind of attention shows you care. As Stephen Covey famously said, "Most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply." Flip the script, and watch your team thrive. If you're finding these tips helpful, hit that subscribe button for more insights on leadership, teamwork, and career success. Chapter 4: Mastering the Feedback Loop. Constructive versus destructive feedback can be your most powerful leadership tool, or your biggest weakness. Done right, it motivates. Done wrong, it can demoralize. To give constructive feedback, focus on specifics and solutions. Avoid saying, "You're not doing enough." Instead, try, "I noticed the last report was late. Let's talk about how we can manage deadlines better next time." Zinger-Folkman found that 92% of employees believe constructive feedback improves performance. But remember, positive reinforcement is just as crucial. Recognize efforts and celebrate wins regularly. Use the feedback sandwich method. Start with a positive comment, share the area for improvement, and end with encouragement. For example, your presentation was detailed and clear. One thing to work on might be engaging the audience more. Overall, great job. Feedback should be timely. Address issues as they happen, not months later during a review. Real-time feedback leads to better performance and stronger relationships. And don't forget to ask for feedback yourself. Say, "What's one thing I could do better as your manager?" This makes feedback a two-way street. Chapter 5, Navigating personality clashes. Like a pro, conflict is inevitable, especially in diverse teams. But here's the thing, it's not the conflict that matters, it's how you handle it. Research shows that 85% of workplace conflicts stem from personality differences, not work issues. Understanding this helps you manage them better. Start by digging into the root cause. Is it miscommunication? Unclear expectations? Once you know, address it head on. Promote empathy by encouraging your team to see each other's perspectives. Instead of saying, "Stop arguing," ask, "Can we look at how Alex might see this differently?" Set clear expectations to avoid future clashes. Define roles and deadlines so there's no room for confusion. Conflict, when managed well, can lead to growth. Patrick Lencioni, in The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, says, "When there is trust, conflict becomes nothing but the pursuit of truth." Chapter 6, Celebrating Wins and Learning from Failures. Did you know that 69% of employees say they'd work harder if their efforts were recognized? Celebrating wins is about more than boosting morale, it reinforces positive behaviors. Personalize your recognition. Instead of saying, "Good job, team," try, "Sarah, your creativity in solving that client issue was amazing. Thank you." Don't stop at big wins. Celebrate small milestones, too. Even a quick "thank you" in a meeting can make someone's day. Failures, on the other hand, are opportunities to learn. Host a post-project debrief and ask, "What worked, what didn't, and what can we improve?" Be transparent about your own mistakes. Say, "I could have communicated the goals better. Here's how I'll improve." This builds trust and normalizes growth through failure. As John C. Maxwell says in Failing Forward, fail early, fail often, but always fail forward. Share this mindset with your team. Love these strategies? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more actionable tips on leadership and career success.